to drive to work to pay for this car, buy this car to drive to work.
Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan. This is James, and today we're going to talk about Tulsi Gabbard's appearance on the Tucker Carlson show, where they even bring up the OPCW report. Very interesting. But first, please consider donating to Devon's journey to recovery. The link is in the description box, and the website is in the intro to this video. Click that GoFundMe link down there. Do it. Alright, so I guess before we get started, I do want to mention Tucker Carlson. We're sort of getting used to him being somewhere sort of outside the box of the stereotypical Fox News or conservative or right or Republican. And here's another one where I'm guessing Jimmy Dore will feature this at some point. I think he likes Tucker Carlson deep down. Me, I say no credit. I need full-on redemption first.
Same.
But, you know, I'll definitely say his content is outside the stereotypical box. Alright, so here's Tucker asking Tulsi about the new report about the OPCW and their leaked content, that their engineers did some tests, what's the word? Forensics? Yes, they did some forensics, and apparently those canisters were placed there rather than dropped from above, like a helicopter or whatever.
Yeah.
So that sort of shits on the whole chemical attack thing, which Trump decided to bomb them, just so you know, in response to the chemical attack that everyone else thought was fake. Whatever. All right, here's Tucker and Tulsi.
Tulsi Gabbard is a Democratic member of Congress from Hawaii, the first female combat veteran ever to run for president, and she joins us tonight.
Aloha, Tucker.
Congresswoman, as you say. Thanks a lot for joining.
It's even funny that they mention that. Usually they don't mention that unless it's Mayor Pete.
Fuck him.
So I think Tucker understands she doesn't get a fair shake
Yeah.
in all these, in the news media, in the mainstream media.
Us. So you're someone else who's taken an enormous amount of heat, an enormous amount of criticism, I can't overstate it, for asking skeptical questions about our policy toward Syria. How do you assess this leaked document? What does it make you think?
Yeah. I mean, this is a significant and very important development we've got to take seriously. As you mentioned, I initially expressed some skepticism around that whole situation, which is why I am getting more information, reaching out to the UN, reaching out to the OPCW, and getting answers. And when I get those answers, I look forward to coming back and sharing them with you and with your viewers.
Real quick, do you think she'll say it? If she goes through all the reports, finds all the evidence, all the experts she can, and they all say, someone set this up, this was a false flag. Do you think she'll come out and say it?
Oh, there's a good chance.
I agree with you. From what we've seen so far, seems like a good chance you would actually let it be known. Actually, it's a good chance she'll be the one who actually investigates it. All the other candidates? No. Not one of them.
Unfortunately.
Except for Gravel, who's probably already like, they faked that shit. It's a false flag. 9/11 was an inside job.
But it's funny because it's like his voice will be heard just as much as if Game 7 World Series, and it's like bottom of the ninth. And then a scalper outside, it's like, everybody, hurry up to get out of here. No one fucking hears them.
Yeah.
Too many people going like, yeah, World Series, woo.
So yeah, this would be another issue that Tulsi is out in front of compared to all the other candidates, except for Gravel, of course. Mm-hmm. I'd say they're like right next to each other. But I think, as Tucker explains later, she's going to get smeared for it. Even if she's right, even if the evidence supports her narrative, she'll still get smeared. But let's continue.
So we're hearing again, even this week, that we may need to bomb Syria yet again because there may be yet another chemical weapons attack. So there'll be 3 years in a row, always in the spring, and always within the context of some other international question. I'm beginning to suspect that we're being played here.
Yeah.
He can't say it.
No, he can't.
He can't say. It's like what's written on the walls, what he just laid out.
Yeah.
He can't say the actual words.
No, my thing about Tucker Carlson is like, who the fuck's letting him say this shit?
Yeah.
Or it's Fox News' strategy to be on the right side of history, to have one guy like the fucking White Knight. Listen, you'll be our voice of reason, okay?
Or he pulls in so much ratings.
Maybe.
That it's like, you're keeping our channel afloat. Because Hannity's clamoring about Hannity's clamoring about Trump's going to investigate. They're going to arrest Hillary at some point, and Obama's going down, and Eric Holder.
So he's a conspiracy guy now.
He's the counter narrative to the whole Russia shit.
Gotcha.
He's the counter to it. Tucker plays the role of like the realist. As in, like, here's issues we should actually care about. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it's kind of weird. Because there was a reported chemical attack again. It was either 1 week prior to this past Sunday. I think that's when it was. And there was, like, small articles about it because it didn't pick up on mainstream news, really. And there was no Trump announcement. We're going to shoot Tomahawk missiles at Syria's air bases or whatever. None of that this time. And one of the articles I saw, I think it was from The Guardian. To where their sources for this basically showed the white helmets and things like that. Mm-hmm. Also, the OPCW, who we just seen get exposed. So it's like... It's kind of funny the way he puts it. It's it's like an anniversary thing. It's an annual thing. Yeah. Every spring, Syria uses chemical weapons for no apparent reason.
It happens when the moon and the sun align. Yes. And it's in the spring. Once a year.
So they keep trying to sell us this story and bullshit.
Yeah.
All right, so I think Tulsi's going to sort of scoot around the conspiracy theory idea and then go right back to another point. Here we go.
Yeah, once again, I mean, this is why doing our due diligence and checking very carefully the evidence is so important. I want to bring up...
That should go without saying, but somehow someone has to stand up and say, we should look at the evidence first. That should go without saying.
Yeah.
Sort of like her stop arming terrorists plan.
Yeah.
It's like, should we have to say that?
No, we shouldn't have to say that.
For some reason, we have to write a law to say stop arming terrorists.
Just like, we can't kill people. No shit. Listen, but we're dumb enough who we have to put up on the wall. The wall laws, see?
The Stop Killing Babies Treaty.
Yeah, I know.
Signed in 2049.
That goes for
what a day in history. We will no longer kill babies.
That goes for you too, pedophiles. Oh, gosh darn it. Damn. Damn it.
It's like, did we need to write that down? Did we need to...
I guess so.
Who did we need to negotiate with to get that as like a settlement for... What the freak? All right, let's continue.
Up another issue that is extremely important to the American people right now, and that is something that should concern all of us, which is the fact that we're at the brink of a war with Iran. And I can tell you, as a soldier, I've served over 16 years in the Army National Guard. I've deployed twice to the Middle East. I know very well both the Middle East as well as the cost of war. And as a member of Congress on the Armed Services and Foreign Affairs Committees for over 6 years, I know where this path leads us. And I'm concerned because the American people don't seem to be prepared for how devastating and costly such a war would be. It would undermine our national security, because right now we have troops who are deployed to Iraq, for example, and right now they're working with both Iraqi soldiers as well as the Shia militia on the ground, and their mission is to defeat ISIS, to try to make sure that ISIS doesn't reconstitute itself and re-emerge there in Iraq. If we go to war with Iran, all of that changes, because then the United States, our troops, my brothers and sisters in uniform, are fighting against the Shia militia. Who knows what the Iraqi military is going to do? Maybe some go with us and fight alongside our troops. Maybe some fight against us and fight alongside the Shia militia. And so what we're facing is essentially a war that has no front lines, total chaos, engulfs the whole region, is not contained within Iran or Iraq, but would extend to Syria and Lebanon and Israel, across the region, setting us up in a situation where in Iraq we lost over 4,000 of my brothers and sisters in uniform. A war with Iran would take far more American lives. It would cost more civilian lives across the region. It would worsen the refugee crisis, with millions of people fleeing into Europe, further destabilizing there. What to speak of the fact...
That seems so obvious, right?
Yeah.
And when you have these guys on YouTube talking about immigrants so much, and they never look at immigrants or refugees, and they never talk about, like, how do these things happen? They never focus on that fucking portion of it. Someone's home gets blown up, they might want to get the fuck out of there. I don't know. They lose family members, and they don't want to join ISIS or Al-Qaeda or whatever rebel group. They don't want to do that. They don't want to be violent at all. What do you expect them to fucking do? They're going to try to get out of there.
Yeah.
And where are the places that these countries won't bomb? They're not going to bomb Germany. They're not going to bomb France.
The U.S.
They're not going to bomb Switzerland. They're not going to bomb the U.S.
Oh, hell no.
So...
If they did, that's a death sentence.
No, I'm saying... Right, it's Western countries bombing these Middle Eastern countries that are blowing up the homes.
Yeah.
Where are they not going to bomb? They're not going to bomb Europe.
Yeah, I know.
They're not going to bomb themselves.
I'm just saying, like, they know it's not going to make sense to do it. At least those who are aware.
Why would they... I think you just missed what I said.
Go ahead, repeat it.
The Western nations are the ones bombing these Middle Eastern countries, along with some other Middle Eastern countries. If your house gets blown up in, let's say, Syria, and you become a refugee, you're not gonna... You can run to Europe, you can run to America, because they're not gonna bomb themselves.
I think it's like a collective.
Right? The U.S. isn't gonna bomb Germany, right? So it's like, okay, if I get a house there, my house will be safe. That's what I meant.
I think as a collective, like, you guys can go over here.
I don't know if I get what you mean.
Whatever, let's just keep going.
All right.
that this would cost trillions of taxpayer dollars coming out of our pockets to go and pay for this endless war that begs the question, especially as a soldier, what are we fighting for? What does victory look like? What is the mission?
So, and what's the benefit to the United States? So, as far as I can tell, this is being pushed primarily by one man, the National Security Advisor, John Bolton. The President has said repeatedly he's not interested in fighting a war with Iran. Bolton clearly is. So, how does the United States, if this happens, how do we benefit?
Yeah, you can't let them. Who fucking hired him?
Who's letting him stay there?
Did he sign up? Did Trump sign a paper that says you have all executive powers for military operations?
What's his job title? Bolton.
Was he Secretary of Who Gives a Shit? Secretary of Defense, State, something like that.
Like for life, eternity, for eternity.
Yeah.
It's like, Trump could get rid of him if he wanted to.
Yeah, you could fire him.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Yeah. Well, he could do it in a nice way. You can say, listen, you're going to go out, you're going to stand in front of those microphones, you're going to tell everyone you're resigning today. so it'll look like you left. I didn't fire you.
Oh, but everyone knows what that means.
But if Trump wants to get reelected, he'll have to say he fired him. But yeah, the point is, you can get rid of this fucking guy. Why is he still there? As Vince would say, well, he hired him to take care of North Korea. Why is he?
What?
Why are these guys so loud about Venezuela then?
Yeah.
Why are they so loud about Iran if they're hired just for this area?
Yeah. Oh,
In which case, I'm like, were they really hired for that?
It's like, hey, why would you hire a guy that has a history of this shit?
Well, yeah.
Does not make any
That'll
sense.
bring
Unless
yeah.
you wanted it to be this way.
That'll bring North Korea to the table. Here's someone who's willing to just blow you up.
Yeah.
So, no. So, yeah, I'm tired of guys covering for Trump on this.
Fucking twerp.
Benefit from this? Is there an upside that you?
We don't, and that's the bottom line. That's what's so concerning is even as people in the administration say, hey, look, we don't want to go to war against Iran. You look at people like John Bolton and Mike Pompeo and others within the administration who have talked about waging regime change war against Iran for a very long time. They have stated their intent and made their objective very clear. Your question is the most essential one. How does a war with Iran serve the best interests of the American people in the United States? And the fact is, it does not. It better serves the interests of people like Bibi Netanyahu and Saudi Arabia, who are trying to push us into this war with Iran. Again, a war that would undermine our national security in the ways that I talked about. It would strengthen terrorist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda.
One quick critique here. When she talks about Israel's role, she only says Netanyahu. When she brings up Saudi Arabia, she says Saudi Arabia. It's like, well, I don't think it's the people just living in Saudi Arabia that are responsible for this. So if you're going to go that route, then do the same thing for Israel. It's their government. It's not Netanyahu as one person dictating everything. He has a team of people. Yeah. He has a military that does shit for him. So you got to do both there. That seems like it's deflecting in order to... People are, as far as their political careers, people are worried about Israel, I think. Because they get, I don't know why they're so favored, but apparently they are.
I don't know. I don't know why. They get all that ridiculous amount of funding. That support.
The funding.
The U.S. backing and all that.
It's more than that. It's, if you mention it, you're attacked.
When you're backed by the U.S. like that, you know, like the way I'm saying, of course you're going to get attacked. Like,
yeah, well,
fiercely. You know.
I mean, like other politicians.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it's like,
it's understandable. I mean,
I get why she would do that, but me personally, I'll say, the Israeli government, the Saudi government, Saudi royalty, whatever the fuck they are, wherever, I'll just call it out like that.
Yeah.
And then if someone opposes me, I'm like, okay, let's debate. Straight up. And I will mock you until you debate me. All right, let's continue.
It would carry a heavy human cost, and it would cost us taxpayers trillions of dollars. Forget about investing in rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure. Forget about having the resources that we need for things like healthcare, education, affordable housing. We wouldn't have those resources because this would go towards yet another extremely devastating, costly war with Iran.
Yes. I think if you were to poll on that question, and it is polled, you would find that what you just said has overwhelming support with voters in both parties, not just your party, the Democratic Party, but with Republicans as well.
That's weird, because the polling I see is Joe Biden up by 1 million points.
Big time Joe?
And I guess
Uncle Joe, right?
And Bernie and Elizabeth Warren coming in second, and Buttigieg coming in second, third, and fourth. But I don't hear them saying this.
I mean,
I think Bernie recently came out and started saying something about Iran.
Yeah, about fucking time.
But Tulsi's been out in front of this for a while now. Like, part of me, it's either the polls are screwed up or we're all crazy.
I think we both know the polls are fucked up.
Me, you, Nico House, Jimmy Dore, Tucker Carlson, we're all crazy. As a candidate like this would get a lot of support. or it's rigged or something. Because it doesn't make sense to me otherwise. All right.
I mean, Uncle Joe's going to win it. What's going to happen?
So Tucker's going to say something that I basically just said, in a way. Maybe why these things happen.
And yet I predict with certainty that you will be attacked for saying what you just did. And that tells you everything. Tulsi Gabbard, running for president from the state of Hawaii. Great to see you tonight. Thank you very much.
Nice to see you, Tucker.
Yeah. Like, I'm very sure. I guarantee you will be attacked for this. Isn't that weird? Tucker realizes it.
It's creepy, isn't it?
Yeah. You'll be smeared. You'll be ignored. Another candidate will adopt something you've been saying forever.
Yeah, they'll parrot it, and then if they ever get elected, then they just, we tried.
Yeah. Remember, I didn't. This wasn't my main issue for running.
You imagine Trump gets reelected, and he's like, I tried to stop Bolton, I just couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
He's too strong.
If there's going to be I think I said this in the last video. If there's going to be a war with Iran, if it's going to be Trump's war, it's going to happen in his second term, not his first one. He knows it'll end his presidency.
Oh, yeah, he has to wait.
So he's going to wait and smear, ignore her, call Bernie socialist, pray to God that Joe Biden wins the nomination or Elizabeth Warren wins the nomination, destroy them, and then here we go. Bombs away. All right, that is it from us. Please subscribe if you like. Comment, agree, disagree, let us know what you think. Send us videos. We do video requests. Any fucking shit you want us to talk about, unless it's troll-like.
Silly.
Thank you, Muay Thai. Donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery. The link is in the description box, and the website is in the intro to this video. Down there. GoFundMe account. Do it. Devon's Journey to Recovery. GoFundMe link down there. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.